Welcome to Gallatin, Tennessee on the campus of Volunteer State Community College for today's 9-inning ball game between the Vincennes University Trailblazer and your Volunteer State Pioneers. This is Tim Reese and a monumental day here at the Tim Garrett Baseball Complex. We have several new happenings here. Got a broadcast going on the school radio station, 88.5 WVCP. And we also are broadcasting on the cable channel 19 on television, along with our normal Vol State Sports Network of YouTube and Twitter. And then also along with me today as the color analyst, and you've been hearing about me calling for an intern all year long, Samuel Parks, student here at Volunteer State Community College, who has had experience broadcasting women's and men's basketball for Vol State and is now along for the ride for his first college baseball game. Samuel, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Tim. I do enjoy baseball, and I'm a little bit more knowledgeable about baseball than it comes to basketball, but I was able to make basketball work. I was able to do some good work on the radio and on YouTube. Hoping to continue that today. Hoping to see a good Pioneer win today, actually, as well.
Well, Samuel, tell the folks where you're from and how you got to Vol State.
Well, I'm from over in Goodlettsville. How I got here was I was originally an auto mechanic. I was actually over at TCAT Nashville studying auto mechanics. Left there due to just everything kind of falling apart. Got real busy, grades started to tank, and was working full-time as a mechanic. Then the pandemic happened. I got laid off, and I just said, you know what, if I'm going to get booted out from a job I basically went from loving to then entirely hating, never wanting to show up, because I got tired of working on other people's junk, I'll just go back to school and go for something I wanted to do. All my buddies, when I was at Beach, because I would sit there and basically call the football plays that are going on, especially since the new Coach Crabtree's system. You know, he always ran the ball first, heavily, forever.
Jalen left, Jalen right back in 2012.
Right. Yep.
Jalen Hurd.
Mm-hmm. I would do that, and my buddies were kind of laughing and said, you know, you should be a broadcaster somewhere. I said, no, I'm just going to be a mechanic, and now look where I am. I'm sitting in a booth.
You're sitting in the newly remodeled press box, looking through the MGM windows that were custom made for the press box here. And it's good to have you along, Samuel. And he will be running our scoreboard and our camera switcher. If you've been with us the last couple weeks, we've added the second camera. So he will be getting used to this new system. And what we are hoping to happen is that Samuel and maybe another student or two could help handle the Vol State Lady Pioneers softball that plays on the opposite side of the campus, as Carter Vrabel, you can't see Carter Vrabel and Jake Burris, who are standing down there waving up to the press box. They are walking back now to the dugout. But in anticipation of the conference tournament coming up in May that'll be hosted right here at Volunteer State, we need broadcasters for both baseball and softball. And the Lady Pioneers, I know, would love to have their games actually some audio added to it. So
some audio added to it, some excitement, because they got the talent. You know, you need a voice behind it. Like, for example, wrestling needed Jim Ross. Wrestling needed Jim Ross. UFC needed just honestly their great lineup of commentators. You know, NFL needed John Madden in the early 2000s for some commentary. You know, you always got to have a voice behind it.
Well, let me tell you, these parents and grandparents and family members of these players have shown their appreciation to me as they've come to the games, and Coach McGuire, along with Athletic Director Bobby Hudson, have shown their appreciation of having an actual broadcast And no, are we ESPN or Fox Sports? I'm not Bob Costas or Joe Buck at all, but my motto, Samuel, is it's better than nothing.
Oh,
so
yeah. It's always better
we
than
got the video. We'll add some meat to the bones here on the broadcast. And it is 10 minutes until game time. We normally come on 10 minutes prior to the ball game, but since we had some added segments, added to the broadcast, thought we'd go ahead and go a little bit early. And our head audio engineer, AJ Fawson, has been awesome to get everything set up with the radio and handling television through the YouTube network that we have set up. I have no idea how he does that, and our head radio man back running the board in the radio station, Stanley
Carr.
There you go, buddy. Stanley Carr. He helped me last year when we did some radio broadcasts here as well. So, Stanley, stick with us. We will right now get to the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineup. First for the visiting Trailblazer of Vincennes University. It's a 4-year university, but they play junior college baseball in Division II, Region 24, Vincennes, Indiana, about 3.5, 4 hours away. And they will throw out a lineup that goes like this, starting at second base and leading off Ethan Burdett, batting second, the DH, Caden Elliott. Colton Evans will play third base and bat third. Carter Whitehead playing right field, batting cleanup. Kobe Bartlett in left field, batting fifth. Colin Long in center field will bat sixth. Dale Coy at first base, batting seventh. The catcher, Makai Pelzer, will bat eighth. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Keegan Schlotterbeck, common spelling of Schlotterbeck. And on the mound for Vincennes University, number 34, Logan Metzger. Metzger, a freshman right-hander, has 4 appearances this year, 1 start. He has an 0-1 record, thrown 9 2/3 innings, given up 5 hits, 4 runs that were earned, walked 7, struck out 8, and enters with a 3.72 ERA. And he will face the lineup, as you see, head coach Jim McGuire for the Pioneers and Chris Barney in his 14th season with Vincennes, out talking to our umpires today. I'll tell you who the umpires are here in just a little bit. The starting lineup for the Pioneers: in center field, Jake Burris. Batting first, batting second at second base, Ethan Huddleston. And at first base, Landon Godsey will bat third. Jace Mizell out in right field will be the cleanup hitter. Landon Luderman, the DH, batting fifth. Carter Vrabel at third base, batting sixth. Logan Molnar moving up a few slots, so he'll play shortstop again and bat seventh. The sensei, Caleb Hawkins, will be behind the plate, batting eighth. And big Jay Sharla out in left field, batting ninth. And on the mound, a left-handed redshirt sophomore, Nathan Rhodes. He has 2 appearances, both starts, 6 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 were earned, 6 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2.84 ERA. He played his high school baseball in that same division as Beach High School over at Station Camp, but he wanted to make sure that I knew he was a proud graduate of Merrill Hyde High School. He's a Hawk. So he's from right here in the Hendersonville, Gallatin area. And it
Honestly,
would be good
if I was him too, I'd make sure nobody knew I went to Station Camp as well.
Well, that's Beach High School talking. You don't want to say that too loud around here. There's going to be some station campers around. But Nathan Rhodes, a 6'4", 190-pound left-hander. Why do I have freshman on there? He is well past being a freshman. Redshirt sophomore. And a sociology major, the son of Tag and Judy Rhodes, the brother to Ella, pitched for the Pioneers 2022, had 13 appearances, 3 starts, had a 3-1 record through 28 innings, give up 29 hits, had 36 strikeouts and a 5.79 ERA. So we're set for one 9-inning ball game. It's not a doubleheader today, as we have a start time probably as Coach McGuire is wrapping up the ground rules. And there was some damage here due to the high winds a week ago, or about 5 days ago. The outfield wall was leaning back a little bit. The Vol State baseball sign you see out there had broken away from the fence. And actually, I thought Coach would just take it completely down. I have no idea how he repaired that out there. But good thing is our brand new Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard out there is intact. Had no problems with the scoreboard, which was great to see. The umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Wayne Seeley, and on the bases, Johnny Lowry. Wayne Seeley and Johnny Lowry have both called games for the Ohio Valley League in the summer as well. So it's like all home week sometimes with Wayne Seeley. He's done quite a few games for the Full Count Rhythm that I've done broadcasts for. So they're good to go for a 9-inning ball game. Pioneers come in with a 10-8 record. Of course, 2-1 in conference play after taking 2 of 3 versus Chat State. Vincennes is yet to start their conference. They're 5-10. We will take a short break as we are getting ready for the Star Spangled Banner. So we'll be right back in about a minute and a half. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. And Alex Qualls on the PA says, let's play ball. He is handling everything. He has heard that the gauntlet was thrown down at Chattanooga State, that Matthew Randall, their PA guy slash DJ slash scoreboard operator slash broadcaster, was doing it all. Alex, probably next time, Samuel will if you're not here, you probably want to take that headset from you and add in the broadcast.
You better hope I'm scheduled to work and it's a doubleheader. Because I like staying in this seat. It gives me something else to do.
Well, that's good. It's good to have a second person along here. And the important thing for the viewers out there, obviously, with that 2-camera system, is to make sure that we go from that zoom shot to the overall shot. I actually had a meeting today with my summer gig, the Full Count Rhythm, and we were talking about going to 4 cameras. And whatever we do with the Full Count Rhythm, I will do my best to incorporate right here at Volunteer State. So if we get those cameras early, we may be going to 4 cameras here if I can make it work. So now they're going to have to bust out the big money, Samuel. If I go to 4 cameras, going to definitely need an intern.
Oh, yeah.
So we will see what they want down the road. But Athletic Director Bobby Hudson has been awesome. Where encouragement for this broadcast has been very appreciative. And I sure have enjoyed getting to know him as well as head coach Jim McGuire. And we are about set here right at 2 p.m. Central Time for the first pitch from Nathan Rhodes.
And here we go.
First pitch in there for a called strike, and we are underway at 2 p.m. Game time temperature 54 degrees. So I'm going to foul straight back. What number is Nathan Rhodes wearing out there today for us? Is he wearing 23? Qualsey, is he wearing your number? There he is. It was your number. 2 balls and a strike to leadoff batter Ethan Burdett, second baseman for Vincennes. Burdett, a sophomore, 5'7", 155 pounds, from Linton, Indiana. The 2-2 is outside. We have our first Full Count Ministries. Full count. Burdett comes in hitting .409, leading the squad. .519 on base average, and he will swing and pop one up in the infield. Godsey calls for it and will make the catch. So something that doesn't happen regularly. Ethan Burdett is sat down for the first out. And a no on our full count first pitch foul ball.
Not batting, number 13.
Brings to the plate Caden Elliott, the designated hitter. Also one of their starters, played in 12 of their 15 games so far, hitting .378. First pitch in there for a called strike. Swing on an MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side, just past the maintenance shed into the trees that line the first base and right field area. Ball in the dirt. Count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. Elliott from New Albany, Indiana, 5'11", 230 pounds, sophomore. In the designated hitter role today. On deck, Colton Evans, a third baseman. Swing and a miss. Rhodes gets his first strikeout. Sets down the first 2 batters he faces. After going 3-2 to Burdett, came back and threw all strikes to Elliott. Colton Evans stepping to the plate. Evans from Henderson, Kentucky, one of the few non-Indiana players for Vincennes. Their foul ball off to the right side. One of the Vincennes players is getting that one heads up. So he'll get some help from some Pioneers players that have come out of the dugout over to the other side. Visiting dugout on the first base side. Another MGM Windows foul ball straight back. MGM Windows and Industries put in the custom windows here at the newly remodeled press box. Very appreciative to Joe Gaskins and Patrick Stewart for their support of Vol State baseball. Breaking pitch swung on and missed, and Nathan Rhodes has a great start to this ball game as he strikes out 2 and retires the side in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Vincennes 0, Vol State coming to the plate. We'll be right back on the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP.
because it looks like
Back for the bottom of the first inning. The Pioneers will send Jake Burris, Ethan Huddleston, and Landon Godsey to the plate to face right-hander Logan Metzger, 6 foot, 205-pound freshman from Marshall, Illinois. He is on for his 5th appearance and 2nd start of the year, has an 0-1 record. 9 2/3 innings with 3.72 ERA, and will face the pride of Grove City, Ohio, Jake Burris, the son of Scott Burris and Sherry Burris. Sherry, a educator up in the Columbus, Ohio area, and he swings and misses at the first offering from Metzger. Burris hitting .309 on the season, 17 hits, 4 doubles. Yet to hit his first long ball of the year, 8 RBIs, on base average of .412. Overhand breaking pitch misses high and away. Kobe Bartlett out in left field, Colin Long in center field, Carter Whitehead in right, Colton Evans at third, Keegan Schlatter back at short, Ethan Burdett at second, Dale Coy at first base, and Makai Pelzer behind the plate, who just had a ball in the dirt. Make an exchange with home plate umpire Wayne Seeley. Count will go 2 balls and a strike. Burris 2 for 4 in the final game of the 3-game series with Chattanooga State. Scored a run, had a double and 1 walk. Swinging an MGM Industries foul ball off to the right side. Chilly afternoon here in Nashville after about an 81-degree day a couple days ago.
Wish we'd have that back.
You ready, huh?
I'm ready for it to be warmer. I'm just ready for it to be warmer, man.
It will be soon. 2-2 pitch. Now count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm sorry, it's full count.
Yeah, full count.
Not running that scoreboard. I got to look up at the scoreboard itself. We have a full count Ministries, full count. Right-hander delivers. That'll be a ball 4. Jake Burris will be the first base runner for either team. Brings to the plate Ethan Huddleston, who had a huge double
Now batting, number 3, Ethan Huddleston.
in game 2 of that doubleheader. Ended up scoring on a base hit by Jace Mizell, which was Mizell's 3rd RBI of the day. That proved to be the game winner in a 4-3 win. Metzger delivers ball 1. Huddleston, a Gallatin High School product. 3rd-year player here for the Pioneers. Medical red shirt a year ago. Throw over to first base. Not in time. Burris second on the squad with 4 stolen bases. And the Pioneers still have yet to be caught stealing for the year. 26 stolen bases on 26 attempts.
They're trying to go at him again.
Catcher Pelzer will go out to talk to Metzger. Metzger, Medsker. Be interesting to find out how Vincennes handles their pitching. Sometimes we have 1 visit, as Brother Seeley has indicated, to the press box. Alex Qualls, I think you need to keep up with that as well. Okay, that's another thing you need to keep up with. Throw over to first. Pioneers, along with Walter State and Dyersburg State, went 2-1 in the opening conference series this past weekend. Southwest Tennessee and Columbia went 3-0. And the teams that they played, you guessed it, they went 0-3. That would be Roane State and Jackson State. Chattanooga State, Cleveland State, and Motlow State went 1-2. Motlow with the big run rule victory over Walter State in Game 3 of that set. Burris stays put on the 3-0, and that's a 4-pitch walk to Huddleston. 2 walks in a row for Metzger, and that brings danger to the plate. That is Landon Godsey, who is leading the Pioneers with a .431 batting average, leads in RBIs with 16, leads in hits with 25, and has a 12-game hitting streak. In that stretch, he's actually hitting almost the same as he's hitting in the first 6 games, right at that .430 clip. There's a breaking pitch in the dirt. He has 19 for 44 in that stretch.
I don't think we've seen a single strike today on that breaking pitch.
You're probably right.
And it's probably, I don't know if he needs to get more control over it or what, but it just don't look like it's going to be going anywhere.
Burris, great jump, and there's not a chance they're going to get Jake Burris at third. So there's a double steal. Pioneers now are at second and third with nobody out. Burris had a great jump, and when Metzger did not look back to check him again, he just kept going. Ethan Huddleston, good base running there as he saw Burris break. He went ahead and broke for second as well. So not a sign, a steal sign given by Jim McGuire there, but count now 3-0 to Godsey, and Metzger in a world of trouble as there's already activity in the Vincennes.
And here comes our second meet of the minds.
There we go. So another mound visit. This one be from pitching coach Brian Campbell, who is in his second year. He is a Vincennes University alum that transferred to Spalding University in, I believe that's in Louisville. Does that sound right? It's in Kentucky. It's either Louisville or Lexington, but he is the pitching coach for head coach Chris Barney. Frank Regal in his second year as well as an assistant coach, along with Jared Sermersheim, who is their first base coach, former Vincennes alum. He transferred to West Virginia Tech. He is in his first year. And the meeting at the mound has broken up.
And now back to regular scheduled baseball.
Let me tell you, Landon Godsey probably going to be hunting for a fastball right down the can here. And Metzger better be careful. That's another 4-pitch walk. So the Pioneers have been walked to a loaded bases situation that will bring to the plate Jace Mizell.
3 straight walks and, goodness.
Number 34, Jace Mizell.
That is not a recipe for a good start.
Reminds me of watching Royals games last year. Walk, 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 home run.
Jace Mizell, there's your first breaking pitch for a called strike. Mizell from Metropolis, Illinois. He has a modest 4-game hitting streak, hitting .400 in that stretch. Leads the team in doubles with 5 and home runs with 4. So swing and a miss. This is a nice fastball that dipped down just under Mizell's bat. So Burris at third, Huddleston at second. Godsey at first. The sun trying to peek out a bit here on a mostly cloudy day in Middle Tennessee. Swinging a fly ball at the right field, sends back Carter Whitehead, and he'll make the catch over his head. That will drive in a run as Jake Burris comes in on the sacrifice fly, and there's your Framework Athletics first run of the game for the Volunteer State Pioneers. Sacrifice fly for Mizell now ties him with the RBI lead with Landon Godsey. They both have 16, but the Important thing for Logan Metzger is he got an out.
Now batting. Number
On the
20.
play, Huddleston moves over to third base. And Landon Luderman steps to the plate with runners at the corners. Need to come up with a first and third sponsor. Fastball high and outside. Framework Athletics, where the Pioneers go to train, have batting cages in there, have pitching mounds, and baseball and softball training. There, throw over to first base, not in time. In fact, I just came from the CrossFit Hendersonville gym, which is just right next to Framework Athletics. Common ownership is Ryan McDuffie. Other co-owner of Framework is former 15-year major leaguer Zach Duke. Not sure if Zach Duke pitched for the Royals, but he pitched for a bunch of teams. You don't remember a left-handed relief pitcher in your Kansas City Royal days, do you?
I don't think he pitched for the Royals.
He pitched for the Reds twice. Good guy. Luderman looks at a breaking pitch, 2-0. So it looks like Metzger maybe is thinking, I can get that breaking pitch over now and not the fastball, as he went 2-0 with that breaking pitch. Godsey at first. He stays still. Fastball misses away. Count goes 3 balls and a strike. Landon Luderman, freshman from Knoxville Catholic High School, Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville Catholic.
There you go.
Huh. You know, a lot of people were wanting a few players for the Vols out there, and they're at Catholic, but I haven't heard of anybody committed either for baseball or for football.
See, people are finding out right away who your loves are, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Just wait till they want to start talking NFL. It's going to be a shocker to some people.
I've got a place for you to go. Swing and a miss. Brings us to a full count. Ministries full count as Luderman swung at ball 4 there. 5'10", 185-pound freshman can catch and play third base. The son of Daniel and Shannon Luderman, brother to Hudson and Easton. And he will look at ball 4. That pitch looked very close to the strike 1 call. And I was waiting for umpire to raise that right hand, but that's the 4th walk of the inning for Logan Metzger.
Now batting. Number 10. Carter Vrabel.
Got our crowd mic working today. You hear the lovely voice of Alex Qualls on the public address announcements. Carter Vrabel stepping to the plate from Father Ryan High School. Red shirt sophomore, third baseman for the Pioneers. Called strike at the knees. Vrabel in game 1 of the Chat State series drove in the only 3 runs in the 6-3 loss. He launched a 3-run bomb. Was the first of 3 home runs, 1 in each game by the Pioneers. Vrabel, 3-run home run in game 1. Jace Mizell with a 2-run home run in game 2. And freshman shortstop Logan Molnar with his first collegiate home run, a solo shot in game 3, a 7-3 victory for the Pioneers. There's a hard shot off the pitcher's legs. Down goes Metzger, and everybody will move up a base. And now we will have a check of Logan Metzger. Not sure which leg that hit him in.
It hit the, I think it would have been his right leg.
Well, there's all-world trainer Justin McKinney, who's out to check on the right-hander for Vincennes. But an RBI single for Carter Vrabel of the infield variety. If Metzger hadn't gotten harmed on that, that probably would have scored 2, as it would have gone up the middle. Hard hit shot. First hit of the inning for the Pioneers comes from the 6-hole hitter Carter Vrabel. Still only one out, and the bases are still loaded. Not sure if Metzger, looks like the call has been made to the bullpen for a new pitcher. So we will take a break and find out who the new pitcher is when we return. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. And a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vincennes, assumed due to injury of Logan Metzger. Right-hander Jace Parnan, freshman, 6 foot, 185 pounds, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, on in relief, and he will come on with bases loaded and one out here in the bottom of the first inning.
No stress whatsoever, just no stress.
Let me turn you back up there. I apologize. I had you way down. There we go. Now I've got.
There we go.
There you go.
And
Logan Molnar drives one out to right field. This could be another sac fly, and runner at third tags. An RBI for Logan Molnar in the first pitch he sees from Jace Parnan. So 2 runs have scored on sacrifice flies. That's Landon Gotze who comes home. 2 outs on the play. Landon Luderman moves over to third base, so we'll have another first and third situation. Caleb Hawkins steps to the plate, redshirt sophomore from Stewart's Creek High School by way of Wabash Valley College, by way of Dyersburg State. Swings and pops it up in the infield. That'll be playable, probably in foul territory, and the catcher, Pelzer, called for it, but could not make the grab. And Caleb Hawkins has new life. I know in my book, on a fly ball out to right field one time, I gave an error on a foul ball not caught, but that's probably a scorekeeper's discretion right there. And I'm not the official scorer, Samuel, so I'm not going to put an error in that book for Makai Pelzer. But an 0-1 count to Hawkins. Caleb Hawkins looking to get right here in this midweek game. Throw over to first base, almost over the outstretched glove of Dale Coy, who looked like he was surprised that that ball was coming over there from Jace Parnan. There's a ball that's in the gap in right center field. That's Caleb Hawkins that we know from 2022. Hawkins will hold up at second. Carter Vrabel, one of the best base runners on the Pioneer squad, will come all the way around from first base. A 2-run double. Could have it. Could call it a do-dat double. We got do-dat Communications. It's provided signage for the press box here and also in the locker room. But a 2-out, 2-run double. Big J Charlotte to the plate.
Foul tip there.
5 runs have come across. Qualsey, you got 4 up there. Is the board not updated? I got 5 runs have come in.
You got 5?
I do. Two hits, 5 runs. There's a foul straight back. Charlotte, the 9th batter to come to the plate. Young man from Riverdale High School. Redshirt sophomore. Charlotte hitting .333 in his now 8th game of the year for Vol State. Staying alive with that foul ball. Folks, as we add equipment and add production to the broadcast, we also add some mistakes, and that's because I'm old and I'm not used to all this equipment, but I'll get there. Finally, Jay Charla gets to rest after a pitch. Count now goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. So 3 straight walks to start the inning off, a sacrifice fly, then another walk and a single. And that was the end of the day. That single went off the leg of Logan Metzger. On came Jace Parnan. Gave up a sacrifice fly and then a double to Caleb Hawkins. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and a runner out at second base is Caleb Hawkins. That pitch gets off the glove of Pelzer. All right, now here's the question I'll ask my analysts here a lot of times, Samuel. All right, do you think that's a pass ball? Should the catcher have caught that, or is that a wild pitch?
Catcher should have caught that.
All right.
Catcher should have caught that one.
Tanner Bumbelow, are you allowed to be up here, should you say? You think catcher? He's a pitcher, though. He thinks catcher should catch everything. So you got it. And Alex Qualls also. There's a ground ball right back to Jace Parnan. He will hustle over and underhand to Coy at first base to retire the Pioneers, but not before they score 5 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors, kind of, sort of, and 1 runner left on base. So after 1, Pioneers lead 5-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Tim Reese and Samuel Park back at Volunteer State Community College, where the Pioneers are taking on the Trailblazer of Vincennes University. Leading off for Vincennes is Carter Whitehead, the right fielder. Nathan Rhodes pours in a strike. And we are set for the top of the second inning. Rhodes retired Vincennes in order in the first. Swinging a foul off the facade. There's padding right behind home plate in front of the brick there, as you see. Vincennes, you don't see, but behind home plate are ball players from both squads. There's a foul ball at the plate. Whitehead almost needed to hit that, or the ball was going to hit him. It was a sharp breaking curveball. One lonely spectator out in left field beyond the left field fence. Pitch low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carter Whitehead from Huntingburg, Indiana, as he swings and bloops one over to first base. That will drop for a base hit. Mizell up with it. Whitehead decides to trot on back to first base. There's the first base hit for Vincennes. Nobody had a shot at that one. Brings to the plate Kobe Bartlett.
Now batting, number 20, Kobe Bartlett.
Kobe from Rockport, Indiana, 6'3", 170-pound sophomore. Shows an outfielder and a right-handed pitcher. Rhodes delivers. The pitch was outside. Bartlett squared around as though to bunt. Don't think he had any intention of bunting there, Samuel. I think he was just trying to draw third baseman Carter Vrabel in.
No, it looked more like they were wanting to make a quick throw over to first. Try to get the man off first.
On deck, Colin Long, the center fielder. Swinging an MGM Windows foul ball off to the right side.
That landed somewhere near us, I believe.
2-1, he'll throw over to first base. Whitehead back in time. A leadoff single by Carter Whitehead. Little bloop shot into no man's land right down the right field line. Ball hit out to right center field. Back goes Jake Burris, and he's moving into right center field. He will make the grab for out number 1. Ball hit just a little bit too high. So with 1 out and 1 on, Colin Long steps to the plate.
Number 12, Colin Long.
Throw over to first base. Godsey on his toes over there, the sophomore from Indianapolis, Indiana. It's a couple hours away, I think 3 hours away from Vincennes, Indiana, which is where Vincennes University is. Rhodes misses on the first pitch to Long. Rhodes now looking for one of those do-dat double plays. Had 2 big ones in the last game played by Ball State against Chat State. Nathan having a little trouble getting that fastball down in the zone. Gone 2 balls, no strikes. Long from Evansville, Indiana, 5'11", 180-pound sophomore. That's just shot down the left field line, but it will hook foul.
I think that left the park.
Did he go out?
I think it left.
It's over the Summit Concrete bullpen down there. Summit Concrete, owned by Chuck Akers, former player for Coach Jim McGuire over at MTSU.
Wonder if that landed in the back of my truck. I'm parked over that direction.
Are you?
Yeah. Specifically had my windshield facing away from the ballpark.
That's a smart move. 2-1 count. Pitch goes low. Count now 3 balls and a strike. That ball's hit out to right field, sends Jace Mizell back, and he will get under it, make the one-handed catch for 2 outs. So lead off single still standing down there in the person of Carter Whitehead at first base. Brings to the plate Dale Coy, who was a late addition to the starting lineup for head coach Chris Barney. Runner starts to go and doesn't. Another pop-up out to right field. It looks like 3 flyouts will end the second inning for Vincennes University. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. 5-0 Pioneers lead after 1.5. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter and Gallatin's Greatest Hits, WVCP 88.5. Heading back to the bottom of the second. Back at Vol State Community College. Spring break here for the students. And I guess that's why we got you today, Samuel. Is that right?
Yep.
Because of spring break?
Yeah, I had no classes right now, and I got to be at work by clocking in by 6:59, so I can get to my job. I can get to my job from here probably less than 10 minutes.
Okay, well, we can cut you loose if we go long as Jake Burris steps to the plate. 2 straight breaking pitches. 1 finds the zone. Burris led off with a walk in the bottom of the first inning. Later scored on a sacrifice fly by Jace Mizell. There's a shot out to left center field.
That's going to a dead zone.
Burris gets one down into the gap. Nice attempt by Kobe Bartlett on the diving play, but he just couldn't come up with that shot. And Jake Burris will pick up double number 5 and tie Jace Mizell with the team lead.
I'll say this, watching some of the Royals spring training games, it looks easy trying to dive out like that, but it ain't. It ain't.
Well, you like to have a nice cushioned grass out there. Coach McGuire keeps it nice and tight. That's the 3rd hit of the ballgame, 2nd double for the Pioneers. Ethan Huddleston steps to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Fastball sails about chin high. He also walked and scored in the first. Huddleston, the son of Shannon Zettel, stepson of Dan Zettel. Dan Zettel, big help here in the press box with the gluing down of the laminate sheeting that all our paper and equipment is sitting on right now. Play back to second base. Throw is wide of second base. Shortstop Keegan Schlotterbeck to make an athletic move to keep that ball from going into center field. Flag out in center field looks just totally limp now. There's a shot into left field for a base hit. Burris will be held up at third. Throw comes in over the head of the cutoff man, but Huddleston needs to stay at first base. Nice hit for both Burris and Huddleston to start the second inning. Pioneers had 4 walks and 2 hits that produced 5 runs, thanks to a couple sacrifice flies. And Landon Godsey, who was the 3rd straight walk by Logan Metzger in that first inning, steps to the plate. Throw over to first base. Huddleston back. Huddleston leads the Pioneers now with 8 stolen bases. Burris, a hard charge down third baseline. Godsey started to go, held up, wishing that he had been ready for that fastball to start off with. Godsey now throw over to first base. Huddleston back. Pioneers somewhere in the middle of the pack in the TCCAA conference statistical area of stolen bases. But the only team, as Huddleston goes on a pitch out, throw down to second base, gets away from second baseman Ethan Burdett, and Jake Burris will score on the error by the second baseman on the catch. The throw was a good throw. Huddleston will be credited with a stolen base, and the Pioneers will score their 6th run of the ball game. No outs. Breaking pitch. Godsey again looks at that one and says, might have should have pulled the trigger on that one. Down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. First error of the contest by either club, at least in my scorebook. Breaking pitch misses outside. Had a missed foul ball catch by Makai Pelzer that an official scorer had the discretion to give an error to. I'm sure the pitcher would have thought that's an error. Nice swing on a tough pitch on the outside corner by Godsey. The MGM Industries foul ball. Joe Gaskins, one of the owners of MGM Industries, former player and coach for Motlow State basketball. Count now goes to a Full Count Ministries full count. Full Count Ministries trying to present the gospel to every baseball player. Here's a ball 4. First walk by Parnan, who's on in relief. Second time that Godsey has been issued a free pass. Puts runners at first and second with Jace Mizell, who's up with bases loaded earlier in the game. Hit a deep fly ball to right field that drove in Jake Burris.
Maybe he sends another one when we get a bases low situation again.
Huddleston leads off second. Here's a fly ball.
Oh.
Looks like it's easily handled out there in left field. Very high. I think Mizell got that one off the handle, so no advancement by the runners. And the first out here in the second inning.
That had the height, but if it just had a little bit more, a little bit more length to it, that's going into that, what is that, a Land Rover out there? That would have been going right into that windshield.
Wonder if that's Ethan. The throw back to second base again. So white Chevy pickup truck.
Oh, goodness. That one looks new based off the headlights. I feel sorry for her.
Swing and a miss by Luderman.
Honestly, that fooled me. I thought he had that. I thought he had that.
Luderman walked and also scored in the first inning. Oh. Strike called there.
They called that a strike.
That was a late call, and that's a maybe 6-0 in the second inning call already.
Yeah.
By my man Wayne Seeley. He'll come back and he'll listen to the broadcast. Swing, and Luderman just got a piece of that one.
Looks like it just hit the very end of the bat there and just kind of hopped over everybody. I've seen that with my cousin when he'd play Little League, because he'd swing at just about everything, and he hit a lot of fouls. Let's just say that. Struck out a lot, hit a lot of fouls.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Luderman. 2 for 12 coming into today's ball game. Has 1 double, 2 RBIs. Good eye there. On deck, Carter Vrabel delivered the first base hit for the Pioneers off the leg of Logan Metzger. Just low, just below the knees, brings us to a Full Count Ministries, full count. Jacob Oldham, Executive Director of Full Count Ministries, and Josh Carmen, Director of Baseball, are Vol State alums. The 6th walk by Vincennes pitchers today. Loads the bases for Carter Vrabel, who is getting hot, folks. Young man is starting to get hot.
Number 10, Carter Vrabel.
There's a deep drive to left field.
Come
Back
on,
to the
send it.
Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard, and that will be off the scoreboard screen for a grand slam home run for Carter Vrabel. He had, I believe, 2 of those a year ago. That's his first grand slam of the year, his 3rd long ball.
It's already going to be 10-0. Goodness.
He got a hanging breaking pitch to his liking. And the son of Mike and Jennifer launches one. That's the first one to the scoreboard that I've seen since that new Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard.
Well, it's a good way to break it in. Is it going to fall apart? Hit it with a good ball.
Well, thankfully, Coach McGuire had some forethought and put a netting in front of that.
Put a netting.
So kept the ball off the actual scoreboard. And the Pioneers take a 10-0 lead here in the second inning. We'll have a new pitcher on for the Trailblazer. We'll be right back to tell you about him in a little over 30 seconds. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vincennes. In for Jace Parnan. Number 27, Caleb Moore, 6'2", 180-pound sophomore left-hander from St. Louis, Missouri. And that is the third pitcher of the day for the Vincennes Trailblazer.
More pitchers than innings thus far for them.
That's right.
And from what I remember of that from watching my Royals this year, that is not a good sign at all. But also, I could look at the scoreboard right now and tell you the same thing.
Now batting, number 1.
So he comes in with the bases cleared after Carter Vrabel hit a grand slam home run. And he will face Logan Molnar, who swings at the first pitch that he sees. And comes up empty. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. The true freshman from Independence High School. Count goes 1 ball and a strike. On deck, Caleb Hawkins. Overhand breaking pitch, catches that outside corner for a called strike. Jake Burris led off the inning with a double. Ethan Huddleston, a single to put runners at first and third. A walk, a fly out, a walk, and a grand slam home run by Carter Vrabel has put the Pioneers up 10-0 here in this midweek game. Swing and a miss. Down goes Molnar. Two outs. And Caleb Hawkins stepping to the plate. He had a double into the right center field gap. Drove in 2 runs in the first inning. Swinging a fly ball out to center field. Back goes Colin Long. He's still back and at the wall on the warning track, hauls that one in for the third out of the inning. The Pioneers break this one open with 5 more runs. The big blow, the Carter Vrabel grand slam. There were 3 hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 0s and 5s on the scoreboard so far. Pioneers lead 10-0. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on 88.5 WVCP. Tim Reese and Samuel Park back at Vol State Community College for the single 9-inning game scheduled today. Not sure what they'll do if they want to play the run rule at this point. Maybe it's premature with a 10-0 lead in the second inning, but I'm not sure. As Nathan Rhodes out for his third inning of work to face Mackay Pelzer, the catcher for Vincennes University. Good start for Rhodes as he pours one in on the outside corner, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Pelzer, the 8-hole hitter. On deck is Keegan Schlotterbeck, the shortstop. Oh, 2 pitch as Pelzer will be rung up. Go down looking for the third strikeout for Nathan Rhodes. First out here in the top of the third inning.
Number 45, Keegan Schlotterbeck.
Pelzer from Douglasville, Georgia. Sophomore. Now Schlotterbeck steps in. Fastball misses down low. Schlotterbeck, 6'1", 190-pound freshman from Centerville, Indiana. Breaking pitch, called strike. This is Schlotterbeck's 8th game of the year, the 16th game for Vincennes University. He is looking for his first hit, and he just got it if it's fair. It is not, as a foul ball. So he lined one down that left field line. Big Jay Charla headed over that way, but Schlotterbeck 0 for 6. Has 2 walks. As I said, looking for that first, I'm assuming his first collegiate hit. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter Ethan Burdett on deck. Little dance move right there by Schlotterbeck as he gets out of the way of that breaking pitch. Brings us to a Full Count Ministries full count. Make sure to stay tuned after the game for the Full Count Ministries verse of the game. And there's the first walk by Nathan Rhodes.
I think that's the second trailblazer to get on base. And it's via walk.
That's true. 1 hit and now 1 walk.
Now batting, number 25, Ethan Burdett.
Jared Sermersheim, the coach down at first base. Head coach Chris Barney handling third base duties as Schlotterbeck was moving back toward first base when that pitch was delivered in there for a called strike. Sermersheim played in the summer in the Ohio Valley League a couple of years ago with the DuBois County Bombers as a throw over to first base, not in time. From Jasper, Indiana. And the DuBois County Bombers that year in 2021 won the Ohio Valley League Championship. That was the first year that the Full Count Rhythm had joined the league. There's a ground ball, could be 2. Vrabel over to Huddleston at second, but he will not make the throw. Nathan Rhodes called in that prescription, just could not get it. Burdett on at first base on the fielder's choice. Slowly hit ball. Would have been tough to turn.
He was closely getting that one,
Now batting,
but
number 13,
just a little half second off from getting that out at second and ending the inning immediately.
Another throw over to first base. Rhodes with a step off instead of the full stretch and then delivery to first base. Delivers to the plate. There's a ground ball. Oh, that ball stayed down, hit the lip, and went right under Logan Molnar into the gap. Burris with the ball. Throws to the cutoff man. Carter Vrabel showing some hops. Gets up and cuts that ball off. Logan Molnar, the victim of that ground ball, just as it hit
right
that
between
lip.
the legs, right between the legs.
He was expecting a hop, and it hit the lip and went right underneath. That'll be an error on Logan Molnar. Very unfortunate error. First miscue for the Pioneers. Puts runners at first and third with 2 out. Colton Evans in the box for Vincennes. He struck out to end the first inning. Started to go, and home plate umpire Wayne Seeley says not only did he start, but he went at least far enough to get the called strike on the swing. Rhodes looking to recover. Thinks he should be in the dugout. Fastball misses high. Trying to keep that 0 up on the board for Vincennes. Also, stay tuned for the right rug flooring player of the game following today's contest. Check swing foul ball.
I'm willing to guess already that's probably going to end up being Vrabel.
You got Vrabel down with
I got Vrabel
2
down.
hits and 4 RBIs.
And one of them is a home run. I've already got him as a vote.
All right, you're voting early.
I'm voting early because I'm watching it.
There's a drive out to left field. Big J Charlotte turns his back, and that ball is gone. 3 unearned runs as that will hit one of those.
Nope, went right underneath the Land Rover. So, I think that's 2 runs there.
There's 3 on the sack, so.
They're on the sack.
Home run, first and third situation, so a 3-run home run for Colton Evans.
Guess I forgot to count the batter.
Colton probably doesn't want you to do that, but.
Now batting, number 33, Carter.
So
Whitehead.
with 2 outs, Carter Whitehead, who singled on a bloop down the right field line, steps to the plate. It's a good hitting club according to the statistics, so I don't know that this game's over yet, but
I mean, if it ends up being 15-3.
It goes 1-1. Whitehead hitting .417. This is his 10th ball game. Came in hitting 10 for 24. He will square around, but pull the bat back on that high breaking pitch. Whitehead 1 extra base hit. That's a double, 5 RBIs. Now is 11 for 25. Pops that one up, and that's maybe trouble as Huddleston goes back, but Mizell calls him off. And we'll make the catch for the 3rd out here in the top of the 3rd inning. But the Trailblazers score 3 unearned runs in the top of the 3rd on 1 hit. There was 1 key error, nobody left on base. After 2.5, Pioneers lead 10-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Bottom of the 3rd we go. We have a pinch hitter for the Pioneers. As soon as we get the official announcement from Jersey Mike's, this will be our first sub, our Jersey Mike's first sub of the game. Best sub sandwich there is around here is at Jersey Mike's. Drew Webster at the plate, hitting for Big J Charla. He will undoubtedly go out to left field to replace Charla in the top of the 4th. MGM Windows foul ball off the bat of true freshman Drew Webster from Christ Presbyterian Academy, 6'2", 190-pound freshman. Business administration major, and he hits one out to left field. Back goes Bartlett, and he was acting like that ball went out, but he made the catch for the 1st out in the bottom of the 3rd. As Caleb Moore is back out on the mound. Webster gave that one a ride. He was having a bid there for his first collegiate home run. But a line out to left field. Jake Burris, leadoff batter for the Pioneers, playing center field, as always this year. Breaking pitch misses inside. Drew Webster, the son of Rustin and Gail Webster, with a shot out there. And looks to me, Bartlett is playing, looks like about 2 steps in front of the warning track. And that may be the deepest I've seen a center fielder play here as well. There's a shot down to third base, backhanded, or attempted to be backhanded by Colton Evans. But I don't think he's going to make that play right there. That's a tough get. I'm going to go base hit, infield base hit for Jake Burris.
Because it looked like it was going foul, but then it hopped back in.
Burris in the Tim Reese unofficial scorebook. Now 2 for 2 with a walk. So 1 out and 1 on. Ethan Huddleston steps in. He is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single. Caleb Moore, left-hander, will throw over to first base as he's looking right at Jake Burris, who keeps bluffing like he's going to take off. Of course, he had a stolen base in the first where he timed the move from the pitcher. Huddleston, the starting shortstop, now moving over to second base. In the last couple of ball games, make way for Logan Molnar over at shortstop. Huddleston came in hitting .313. That average has gone up. Leads the team with 17 runs scored, now has 19 runs scored. Oh, he had a pitch right there. MGM windows, foul ball. Custom-made windows here in the newly remodeled. Thank you to my lovely wife who came up and helped me do some painting. Dan Zettel with the gluing down of the countertop and right rug flooring for a brand new rug. Carpet squares that we have up here. Kerry Gilbert. And Coach McGuire, who's found some tall chairs for us up here. A.J. Fawson, who's found some new equipment for us to add to the broadcast. 2-1 pitch to Huddleston. Misses high. Ball pops out of the glove of Mekhi Pelzer. But Burris, who now is right before time was called, he was inching a little bit towards second base. Like, Pelzer, you better pay attention to me. On deck is Landon Godsey. Ball 4 to Huddleston. First walk by Caleb Moore. Godsey steps to the plate. He's done nothing but walk today. 2 walks, 2 runs scored.
Number 30, Landon Godsey.
One out, 2 on. Some off-speed pitch there. That ball died as soon as it got to the plate. That one's right down the can. Logan Metzger, 1/3 of an inning. Pitched to 6 batters before he was hit with a batted ball and ended up coming out of the game. Jace Parnan came in for Metzger. There's a ground ball, could be 2 to second. Flip to short, on to first base. Out called on a close play at first base. So Landon Godsey grounds into the 4-6-3. I thought maybe he had beat that out. But no, says base umpire Johnny Lowry. And the Pioneers fail to score here in the 3rd inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We're through 3. We're scheduled for 9. Pioneers lead 10-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 on the radio, WVCP. Tim Reese and Samuel Park back at Vol State. We head to the top of the 4th inning and a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. Sophomore Keegan Evick on in relief of Nathan Rhodes. Did his high school up in Clarksville, Tennessee, Rossview High School. A general studies major, the son of Curtis and Tracy Evick, brother to Trenton, grandson of Grampy and Grammy in Modesto, California, and Opa and Oma in Springfield, Tennessee. Keegan Evick, born in the Netherlands, lived in Germany. His father's the first pitch out to left center field. Jake Burris over in front of the new left fielder Drew Webster to make the catch for out number 1 as Kobe Bartlett swings at the first pitch he sees from Keegan Evick and is retired. That's 2 flyouts to the center fielder off the bat of Kobe Bartlett. Colin Long steps to the plate. He flew out to Jace Mizell, the right fielder. He will look at a pitch right down Broadway. Curtis Evick, a retired Army major. And there's another fly ball out to left field. Drew Webster looks like he's got that one measured and makes the catch. 3 pitches, 2 outs for Keegan Evick. Evick's second appearance on the mound for the Pioneers. He's thrown 1 inning, given up 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 0 ERA. Swinging a foul ball by the super aggressive middle of the lineup. 5, 6, and 7 have gone up there hacking. Dale Coy fouls that one off. He flew out to Mizell as the third, and there's a pop-up in the infield. It's foul, but Landon Gotze will make that catch about 40 feet away from the plate. Keegan Evick with a 1-2-3 inning retires the Trailblazers of Vincennes University. Pioneers still lead 10-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and WVCP 88.5. Jace Mizell will lead off the bottom of the fourth for Vol State.
Number 34, Jace
Two
Mizell.
flyouts, one that's produced a run as a sacrifice fly. And that was out to right field. Looks at a looping curveball by Caleb Moore that misses outside. His ground ball to short. Keegan Schlotterbeck up and sidearm delivery over to Coy. Will retire Mizell for the first out. 2 innings in a row that Vincennes has retired the leadoff batter. It worked well for them in the third as they gave up no runs. Landon Luderman steps to the plate. He has walked twice and scored twice. Now a lefty versus lefty. He gets sawed off there as that pitch is fouled off down that third base line. Did it go out of the first fence? No, it hit off the fence. And somebody with his hair on fire out of the bullpen comes out to get that ball. Wearing the red Vol State hoodie with the hood up. No telling who that was. Count goes 1 ball, 1 strike to Landon Luderman. Slow breaking pitch misses outside. Is that a slow scoreboard going there, Qualsey, or do you got 2-1? It's 2-1 count. Another overhand break. 3 balls and 1 strike. The 3-1 down to first base. Couple hops. Coy will try to throw to Moore on the run, and he does. Nice PFP there by Caleb Moore to retire Landon Luderman on a 3-1 put out. Coy far enough away from the base. He had to throw that ball overhand, and he led Caleb Moore well. So with 2 outs, Carter Vrabel steps to the plate. He's going to get an RBI. It's going to have to be driving himself in. Got a grand slam home run in his last at-bat that would have hit and put a dent in the Toyota of Gallatin scoreboard. But there's some screening in front of that. That's where that ball hit.
2 balls to start the count off. I think they're afraid to put anything in the strike zone after his last hit, I think, was that home run.
3rd home run of the year for Carter Vrabel. He had a cut. He just missed that one. Leading home run and RBI man a year ago for the Pioneers. 12 home runs, 40 RBIs. Will slow start to the 2023 season. But he can get hot in a hurry. He pops that one up and out of play. MGM Windows foul ball.
By the direction of that, I wonder if that landed on top of one of the porta potties right behind this booth here. Feel sorry for if anybody was using that.
There's a drive down that left field line. Carter Vrabel will be 3 for 3, and he will be a triple away from the cycle as he has a single, a double, and a home run. 3 for 3. Hey, Carter Vrabel seems to be getting hot at the right time, just as conference play is coming. Logan Molnar steps to the plate with runner in scoring position with 2 outs. He's RBI, sacrifice fly, and a strikeout.
Can't have a sack here. It'll end the inning.
There is no sacrificing now. Wind looks like he's blowing out the left field a little bit. Breaking pitch, slow breaking pitch. I bet you're wearing the 60s on that. What do you think, Tanner? That's a 60-something mile-an-hour breaking pitch called strike. Definitely not one unless you're looking for that one right out of the gate. You're not swinging at that on the first pitch. That's grounded down to third. Hits fair right over the base. Throw is in the dirt, but Molnar beats that one out for an infield single. Tough play down there by Colton Evans. but a nice job just to backhand it, get it in his glove. That ball bounced just past the bag, putting runners at first and third. And Caleb Hawkins steps to the plate. He hit the
Now batting. Number 17.
first pitch of his last at-bat. He flew out to center field. I need binoculars to see Colin Long out there in center field. Right fielder Carter Whitehead is playing reasonably deep, but center field and left field are both playing 2 or 3 steps from the warning track. That's the deepest. Look how far back that center fielder is going.
Looks like a blue dot with a white bottom to me.
Wearing those white pants and blue tops with the yellow lettering. Got yellow on the back of the jerseys, blue in the front. Throw over to first base, Molnar back. Not sure if this is a running situation. Molnar had his first stolen base of his college career at the Chat State Series. It was a steal of third base. 2 outs, 2 on. Drive to third base.
Yeah, that
and
is just a caught.
that was a missile down to Colton Evans at third base. If he didn't catch that, that ball was in the corner. So a line out by Caleb Hawkins. Looks like he's getting his stroke back. But the Pioneers come up empty again. Put 2 on with 2 hits, a double and a single, but can't push anything across. After 4, Pioneers still lead 10-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network on YouTube and Twitter and WVCP 88.5. Top of the 5th inning we go. We will have the Toyota of Gallatin alumni spotlight after
Now batting. Number 6.
this half inning.
Pelzer.
Keegan Evick back out on the mound to face 8, 9, and 1. Mackay Pelzer swings and fouls the first pitch he sees straight back. He struck out looking. Off of Nathan Rhodes, who went 3 innings, gave up 2 hits. There's a line drive caught by Landon Godsey. He had his high flyers on there.
You can hear the Vol State bench cheer after that one. Goodness.
Well, that's just because I finally turned up our field mic. I hadn't been doing it for the last couple innings. Thanks for calling me out, Samuel. But no, you're right. That was a athletic move by the former backup catcher a year ago for the Pioneers. He got up, had his PF flyers on, as they say. Pelzer put the wood on that one. Number 9 hitter Schlotterbeck steps to the plate. He walked in the 3rd inning. Looking at a 2-0 count. Foul ball toward the bullpen. Hits right in front and then bounces in. Maybe it looks like the bullpen catcher makes the play off the brick wall, as there is a right-hander getting loose in the Vincennes bullpen. Count now goes 3 balls and a strike. On deck, leadoff batter Ethan Burdett. Ground ball to Molnar. He gets a more reasonable ground ball that time and throws on to Godsey for out number 2. Last time he saw a ball coming his way, a couple hops and hit the lip and stayed down. Charged with an error. 2 outs, nobody on. Leadoff batter Ethan Burdett, who is 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third and ended up scoring ahead of the 3-run home run by third baseman Colton Evans. Sees a fastball just above the letters. Pop up in the infield. Vrabel will come over and make the grab for out number 3. An easy peasy lemon squeezy, except for that line drive to Godsey that he snagged. For Keegan Evick, 3 up, 3 down. We're heading to the bottom of the 5th. We'll come back in about 30 seconds to tell you the Toyota of Gallatin Alumni Spotlight. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Back for the bottom of the 5th, we'll have the Toyota of Gallatin Alumni Spotlight for the Pioneers. And today's Alumni Spotlight is the current shortstop for the Trevecca Nazarene Trojans, Josh Griffin, former shortstop last year for these Pioneers. He came to Vol State from Marion, Illinois, played at Marion High School, played for the Pioneers in 2021 and 2022. Second on the club 2 years ago in hitting at 302 as Drew Webster steps in to face Caleb Moore. Josh Griffin led the squad a year ago in hitting with a 338 batting average. Ball's driven out to center field, and Colin Long has to come in from his positioning right next to the outfield wall to make the catch for out number 1. So Josh Griffin is actually currently leading the Trojans in hitting 463. Has 4 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, which leads the squad. 10 RBIs in the first 10 games. There's a hot shot to the backhand by Jake Burris, and he will be on the 4th time in the ball game with another infield single, 2 in a row for him. He is 3 for 3 and having a day. The pride of Grove City, Ohio. Hello to his grandparents, the McDaniels, who seldom miss a game. And Ethan Huddleston steps in. The younger brother of Noah Huddleston and 4-time full count Fall League champion Ethan Huddleston. This past Monday morning, I actually had breakfast at Chick-fil-A with the only other baseball player who can make that claim is Aaron Kernell, who played for Team Reese for 4 years in the high school wood bat Fall League. Step off by Moore. Burris back in time. Aaron Kernell attends at University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, not playing baseball, but looking for a career in law enforcement. Another throw over to first. Pioneers scored 5 in the first and 5 in the second to take a 10-0 lead. But a 3-run homer in the top of the third has Vincennes on the board. 10 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Pioneers. 3-2-1 for Vincennes. Long pause as Moore will step off, and there's his 1 step off for this batter. before any penalty would be incurred. Moore came on in relief. It's a called strike there. It came on in relief in the second inning after Carter Vrabel's grand slam put the Pioneers up 10-0, and he has done a great job of keeping Vol State off the board. Off-speed pitch misses way outside. Right-hander still getting loose in the Trailblazer bullpen. Number 42, Jack Robinson, fouled off to the right side. MGM Windows foul ball. Caleb Pica down there, you said? Caleb Pica, left-hander from John Overton High School, is warming up in the Pioneer bullpen. 2-2 to Huddleston. Throw over to first base. John Ripel doesn't move a muscle, the first base coach. Volunteer assistant. Head coach Jim McGuire down at third base. And a pitch swung on, foul tipped into the mitt. Down goes Huddleston. It's his first time to take a left turn in an at-bat today. He'd walked, singled, and walked. Second strikeout for Moore. Brings it to plate. Landon Godsey grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. He fists one out to right field. That will land. Catch some green, and Godsey will move on down. No, he will hold up. I thought for sure that Landon Godsey, as the throw gets away from the second baseman. Jake Burris, also one of the best and most aggressive base runners on the roster. He sees that ball get to the dirt, and he will trot on home for the 11th run. That will be an error on, to me, like the throw was being able to be handled by second baseman Ethan Burdette, but he drops the ball. So no RBI to Godsey, but a run scored and a second error on the Trailblazer. Throw came in from Carter Whitehead. Wasn't the best throw in the world, but it wasn't in the dirt. Drive out to left field. You can forget about that one.
Gone.
That is way out of here. That may be. I wonder.
Just bounced right next to that Land Rover.
Yeah, I think
it's
I know.
going all the way down.
I think I might know who's in that. And she is out going to get that ball because I think she knows Jace Mizell. She might be the mother of his roommate. Jace Mizell just drove his 5th home run out of the park and parking lot in left field. That's what we call in the business a no-doubter.
Hold on, she might be beat to that ball. A van just pulled down there to grab that thing.
She just
one of those old Ford Econolines.
She's got it in her hand. She got that baseball in her hand. But that will be the end of the line for Caleb Moore. That's now 2 runs that he has given up. They are now earned with that home run. The Pioneers have put 3 on the board here in the 5th inning. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. You're listening to the Ball State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Summit Concrete called to the bullpen for Vincennes. Jack Robinson, number 42, 6'1", 175-pound freshman from Mooresville, Indiana, on in relief of Caleb Moore. With nobody on and 2 outs, as the Pioneers have scored 3 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The big blow, a 2-run home run by Jace Mizell. That is his 5th home run of the season. And his second and third RBIs of the game now give him 18 RBIs for the season. And with nobody on at 2 out, Landon Luderman will step to the plate to face the new right-hander. Probably happy to see Caleb Moore, a left-hander, get off the mound. Foul ball to the Pioneers dugout. $11 hits for the ball game for the Pioneers. Robinson's 1-1 misses outside. 2 balls and a strike. So far, Moore has given up 3 runs. There's a drive out to center field. Colin Long will come in and make the catch for out number 3. But the Pioneers push 3 across on 3 hits. Chase Mizell, 5th home run of the season. There was 1 error. It didn't figure into the scoring ultimately, and nobody left on. We're through 5, scheduled for 9 here today on the campus of Volunteer State Community College during spring break. See that email address if you want to shoot me an email. Tell me who you are, where you're listening from, who you're rooting for. I'll give you a shout out on the air on the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Tim Reese and Samuel Park, new sidekick here for the first time. Student here at Volunteer State. He's running the scoreboard and the camera switcher. Doing an awesome job today. We have a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. 6'6", 170-pound true freshman from Nashville Overton High School, Caleb Pica, on in relief for Vol State. Pica is on for his 3rd appearance of the year, his 2nd relief appearance. Has a 1-0 record, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned. Walked 3, struck out 8 batters. And he will face 2, 3, and 4 of the Vincennes Trailblazer lineup. Caden Elliott swings and fouls the first pitch off. Caught a little bit of Caleb Hawkins. So we have a Caleb throwing to a Caleb here. Freshman to a redshirt sophomore. Pica is the son of John and April Pica, the brother to Jordan and Reagan, grandson of Papa and Grandma in Fairbury, Illinois, and Papa and Grandma in Pasodum, Illinois. common spelling of Pasodum, an MGM Windows foul ball. Something in the air, isn't there, Samuel?
Yes, foul balls and pollen. That's what's in the air today.
That's right. A little catch to my throw. That ball's grounded off the glove of Caleb Pika. Molnar will eat that ball. Molnar probably had a play if Caleb Pika had left that alone, although Molnar would have had to charge it. But as we've seen already, Logan Molnar does a great job of charging the ball and throwing on the run.
Now batting, number 23, Colton Evans.
Last plate appearance for Evans was a 3-run home run. He takes a healthy hack at that one, but comes up empty. Pika wearing 31 again today?
Correct.
All right, I know they got different numbers in some of the different uniforms. Looking for that prescription for Doodat double play right here. Hawkins with a nice pick right there. 3 hits for the Trailblazer. A single by Carter Whitehead. The 3-run home run by Colton Evans. And the infield single right there for Caden Elliott. That's a deep drive. That's out of here, but it will be foul. Colton Evans. See,
Into the road and into the parking lot.
Maybe you got a truck? Is it in the bed of your truck?
Nah. Now, if we see one fly back left of us, it'll probably head into the bed of the truck, but...
Two balls, 2 strikes to the Vincennes third baseman. Another ball in the dirt, blocked by the sensei, as they call him, Caleb Hawkins. One of the Creekers, Stewart's Creek High School from Smyrna, Tennessee. He and Connor Moss, Maddox Liebrick, the 3 Creekers, along with their buddy Michael Franklin. Hard shot past head coach Chris Barney. Did not try to make a play on that one. Chase Birdwell out of the bullpen down there to retrieve that foul ball. Swing and a miss. First out of the inning. The first strikeout for Pika. Keegan Evick goes 2 innings. Retires all 6 batters that he faces. Zeros across the board. Did not have a strikeout. Did not allow a base runner. Carter Whitehead dances away from the first pitch he sees. And that is fouled straight back. Except for some netting, that would have gone right over the top.
Right into me.
Was that head for your forehead?
Yeah, it was heading straight for the camera in my forehead.
Breaking pitch just misses inside. Pika got the start against Calhoun Community College. Game 1 of that doubleheader. And misses with the fastball. He's rearing back and just letting it go right here and missing the zone. 3 balls and a strike. Pika gave up his one unearned run in that game. There's a Foul ball straight back. Brings us to a full count Ministries. Full count. Pika looking for a ground ball. And it gets a called strike at the knees on the inside corner. Back-to-back strikeouts for the freshman from Overton High School. Some of you new listeners may not know Overton High School. That is the school that produced Mookie Betts, the right fielder for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Breaking pitch stays high to Kobe Bartlett, who's flown out twice to Jake Burris in center field. Hello to Danny and Brenda Mizell, our most loyal listeners. Jace's dad, Sean's out there in left field. Strike called. And you are right, Jace and Carter roommates, at least for 2 years now. Both homered in the ball game here. Homered during the conference opener in Chattanooga State as well. 2-1 count to Bartlett. Colin Long on deck. And hello to Jeff Ray, administrator of Web and Digital. Jeff Ray, were you the one who came up here with A.J. Fawson to do a mic readjustment as that pitch just missed above the letters? Vincennes has 2 runners on, one via an infield single off the glove of Caleb Pika, and now a 2-out walk. So Jeff Ray is catching softball and baseball. He is doing double duty here. Softball playing, golly, what was the name? Lake something, I think, is who's softball out of conference playing today. Said they're up 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Guess it's upset central today.
Swing and a miss by Long, who has also flown out in his 2 previous plate appearances, but he's avoided center field so far. Fly out to right field and a fly out to left field. Pika steps off. Colin Long came in hitting .229. This is his 14th game in their 16th game of the year. One count. And the other grandparents of Jace Mizell, the Rices, are checking in from Metropolis, Illinois. Pika just doesn't seem to have that control with that fastball. Seems like it's staying high too much. Dave Holbrook and Sherry Burris checking in from the Grove City, Ohio. Inside, Pika in danger of walking his second batter of the inning after a single and 2 strikeouts. Looking forward to seeing Dave and Sherry back in Middle Tennessee again. There's a drive out to left field. Drew Webster, though. I think that's still Drew out there in left field, is it not? I would think Drew Webster makes the catch. He was on as the first sub of the game, in for Big J Charla. Makes the catch for out number 3. Though Pika strands 2. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We are through 5.5, and the Pioneers lead 13-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP on your radio dial. Tim Reese and Samuel Park back at Vol State, and we are in the middle of spring break. Doesn't feel like spring break here in Middle Tennessee, does it, Samuel?
Well, it felt like that earlier in the week, but now it's feels like it's turning fall again.
Samuel Park and Kurt Raines delivered quite a bit of broadcasting for the basketball program this past year. They are getting their feet wet in play-by-play and color analysis. So good to have Samuel for his first baseball broadcast today, as we are on the campus radio station, WVCP 88.5, as well as the campus television station, as I understand it, channel 19. It is getting the feed through the YouTube as Carter Vrabel vying for the cycle. As he has a single, a home run, not only just any home runs, a grand slam.
The grand slam. He just needs that triple.
And there's a single in the right field. I don't think he's going to turn this one into a triple. But that's his fourth hit of the ball game off of Jack Robinson, who it's the second batter that he has faced. Vrabel, good job with just going with that pitch into right field.
Now batting, number 1, Logan Molnar.
12 hits now for the Pioneers, who have 13 runs. Logan Molnar steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike. On deck, Caleb Hawkins. There's a shot in the left field. Another base hit for the true freshman from Independence, Carter Vrabel. He was looking to go to third, which would have been a surprise move. I'm sure Kobe Bartlett would not have been expecting that. Second hit for Logan Molnar today, and looks like we will have a pitching change as head coach Chris Barney out of the Vincennes dugout. And that will end the day for Jack Robinson. So we'll take a quick break, 30-second break, and we'll be back to tell you about the Summit Concrete call to the bullpen and who the new pitcher is. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vincennes, number 26, Christian Pinson, 6'2", 180-pound freshman from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Attended Central Hardin High School. He is on in relief of Jack Robinson here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pinson has 6 appearances, all in relief. Thrown 3 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned. 6 walks, 3 strikeouts. And he will come in with runners at first and second and nobody out. A bit of a pickle right next to Pickle Fieldhouse. just to our left.
Now batting, number 17.
The gymnasium, where Richard Moore Gymnasium, located in the Pickle Fieldhouse, home of the men's and women's basketball teams who just concluded their season. Caleb Hawkins, before Drew Webster gets an at bat, will step in. He is 1 for 3. Two looks out to second, swing and a miss on that sidearm release from Pinson. Jack Robinson goes a third of an inning, gives up 2 hits. No walks, no strikeouts. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility. John Ripel coaching down at first base. First year volunteer assistant coach here at Vol State. Former head coach at Nebraska Wesleyan in Lincoln, Nebraska. Also director of baseball operations at UAB. Swinging a drive out to center field, sends Colin Long back to the fence, right on the warning track. Tagging is Vrabel at second base, and he moves over to third base. They will do a quick appeal at second base. No, they won't either. At least not the way they could have. Just stepped on the base, but they did not. So a fly out, but a productive out for Caleb Hawkins. Brings to the plate Drew Webster now with 1 out.
Number 7.
And
Webster.
runners at the corners. Throw over to first base. Not in time. Drew Webster 0 for 2. Line out to left field. Deep fly ball. And a fly out to center field. Breaking pitch misses outside. On deck, we'll have a pinch hitter for Jake Burris, the former DJ up here and part of the press box gang. Maddox Liebrick has a stick in his hand. MGM Industries foul ball right to the maintenance shed. That'll be easy to find.
Chilling right in front of the door of it, too.
Suzanne Godsey checked in via email. The mother of Landon Godsey, first baseman for the Pioneers. Always good to know that the Godseys are checking out the broadcast today. Her and husband Paul watching. Changeup, low and away, nice pitch with 2 strikes. Did he say 2 balls and 1 strike?
He said
okay.
2-1.
Now it's 2-2. You were a prophet there, Qualsey. Alex Qualls handling 3 distinct tasks with running the PA, the DJ, and the scoreboard today in the absence of Tyler Holsworth. Full Count Ministries, full count to Drew Webster. Runners at first and third, 1 out. And our first full count, first pitch, foul ball of the day. Godsey's planning on coming down this weekend. That pitch is inside for ball 4. Drew Webster will reach base for the first time today. First walk, of course, for Christian Pinson. And Maddox Liebrick will get a plate appearance with bases loaded and 1 out.
Now batting, number 29, Maddox Lieber.
This is Liebrick's first plate appearance of the 2023 season. Good job, Maddox, not swinging at that first pitch so I can tell the folks about you. 5'11", 160-pound redshirt freshman. One of the Creekers, Stewart's Creek High School, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, hometown, the son of Greg and Amy Liebrick. And the brother to Madison. Swing and a miss. There's a granny in Smyrna, Tennessee, a papaw and a mama Sheila in Decaturville, Tennessee, and a nanny in Decaturville. Looked at that breaking pitch on the inside corner. Liebrick, an outfielder for Vol State, probably will go into center field for Jake Burris, who finished 3 for 3. Started to go, and home plate umpire said he went. So Liebrick down on strikes. 2 outs. First strikeout for Pinson. Blocked nicely by Pelzer behind the plate to keep the runners at third, second, and first.
25,
Corbin Overbay stepping in for the Pioneers with his first appearance of the year from Sevierville, Tennessee. He will head into second base for Ethan Huddleston in the top of the 7th inning. Overbay, 5'9", 165-pound true freshman from Sevier County High School, business major, the son of Drew and Heather Overbay, and the brother to Jensen, who's a student at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Looks at a 2-0 fastball. You're kind of partial to that color orange, aren't you, Samuel?
Oh yeah, very partial to that color orange. Want to see how they do in baseball this year. I saw where the Vols were really high on the Vegas boards to win the College World Series.
They've got some pitching. If they're hitting, can keep up. Overbay with bases loaded. Taps one over the head of head coach Jim McGuire at third base, who gave the appearance as though he was giving some effort to making that play down there. What do you think, Qualsey? What do you give him on that effort? Give him an 8? A 9. A 9 on the effort.
Compared to recent.
Full count Ministries, full count to Corbin Overbay. He will take ball 4. Get his first collegiate RBI on the bases loaded walk as Carter Vrabel sneaks into the plate. Second walk for Pinson. And out of the dugout will come head coach Chris Barney, and that will be the end of the line for Christian Pinson. So he will end up facing 4 batters, and he will retire 2 and walk 2 batters.
I love how whenever that walk happened, the phantom run decided to show up on the board. Didn't have to do anything.
Oh, is that right on your
Yeah,
scoreboard?
it just
well, here's what
phantom
happens:
run
if you hit ball 4, then it knows that the guy's going to walk, and obviously with bases loaded, it scores that run. So
however,
you're getting used to the our scoreboard that we've added into the OBS system. We added that scoreboard last year in the conference tournament, the one game we played in May of last year. So it's been a welcome sight to our fans, I know. So, but it is an extra plate to spin, and a lot easier to do it. Eli Steimel, if that's the what number we got? 24. A former DuBois County Bomber a year ago. We'll just keep it right here.
Now pitching
Tell you about Eli Steimel, a 5'9", 175-pound sophomore from Sullivan, Indiana, on in relief of Christian Pinson. Steimel was part of the DuBois County Bombers, play summer. It's a Woodbat Collegiate League in the Ohio Valley League. And it's where I got my broadcasting start at the ripe old age of 78 years old. And DuBois County Bombers and the team that I broadcast for, the Full Count Rhythm, faced off in 21 and 22, with each team winning. DuBois County Bombers won in 2021, and a year ago the Full Count Rhythm won in their second year of existence over the Bombers. They play in a stadium. I'm not sure if you're a big movie buff or not, but DuBois County Bombers play in League Stadium, which is in Huntingburg, Indiana, and that is one of the two fields or stadiums where the movie A League of Their Own, remember, with Tom Hanks and Gina Davis?
Don't think I've watched that one yet. Don't think I've watched that one yet.
Well, it's been out for a long, long time, and but very famous baseball movie about women's baseball during the war, and very nostalgic baseball stadium.
Speaking of baseball nostalgia, you mentioned Woodbat leagues. I've always liked the look of a Woodbat, the sound it makes when it hits the ball. It feels, sounds, and of course smells, because Woodbats have a distinct smell of just baseball to me.
Well, when you're sitting this far back, you don't get that smell.
No, you don't.
I smell some grass, but
smell grass.
Brody Melton will come to the plate to face the new pitcher Eli Steimel, true freshman. So you hear the gongs on his walk-up song. Melton from Tullahoma, Tennessee, Tullahoma High School. There's Coach McGuire getting more players in the ball game, and Melton looks at a called strike on the breaking pitch. Brody Melton hitting for Landon Godsey, who was 1 for 2, scored 3 runs. Bases loaded, 2 out. In the bottom of the 6th, Pioneers with a 14-3 lead. And on deck is Ethan here, Cincinnati boy, just like yours truly.
Do you also put chili on your spaghetti?
As that ball gets away. I don't. Wild pitch will score the 15th run for Vol State. Logan Molnar comes in. Everybody else moves up a base. And runners now at second and third. That run charged to Christian Pinson. His line is now over. 2 runs given up in a third of an inning. The ball is nubbed over to second baseman. A lot of English on that one. Melton is safe at first base on a play that looked actually the opposite of the other one that Godsey made, but that will be the 3rd error on second baseman Ethan Burdett.
Has enough energy on it to get the 16th run in.
16.
Now batting.
16-3.
Ethan here.
Ethan here steps to the plate. 2 outs, runners at the corners. I don't think Brody Melton even knew where that ball was. After he hit it. He knew he hit it, but
he just didn't see where it went.
Yeah, he was looking around like, what in the world happened to that? Ethan here from Cincinnati Moeller High School. Redshirt sophomore. 6 foot, 185 pounds, from an education major, the son of Andy and Gina here. Looks at a pitch on the outside corner called strike. He will head out to right field, no doubtedly, to take the place of Jace Mizell, who was 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Swing and a miss. Ethan, the brother of Elizabeth, and the grandson of Grandpa and Grandma in Indianapolis and Grandma in Rhode Island. Got in 8 games a year ago. Fouls that one off. 8 at-bats, had 4 hits, hit .500. 1 double and 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Very productive 4 hits for Ethan here. Has 1 official at-bat for the year. This is his 2nd game to enter for the Pioneers. A 16-3 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the 5th, and so far 3 here in the 6th inning. Count goes to Full Count Ministries, full count. Brody Melton on at first base. Corbin Overbay, who reached on a walk, as at third. Melton will be off with the pitch. Ethan here will go down looking for that strike 3 on an overhand breaking pitch. Strikeout for Steimel. Ends the inning, but not before 3 runs. Score on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. We're through 6. Pioneers lead 16-3. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network and 88.5 WVCP. Tim Reese and Samuel Park back for the top of the 7th inning. And a Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for the Pioneers. 6'1", 200-pound freshman from Centerville, Maryland, Colin Athey on in relief. Attended Queen Anne's County High School, business major, the son of Joe and Maureen Athey. Brother to Egan, Ella Mae, Colleen, and Charlotte. And the grandson of Grandma Mary. He is on for his first appearance of the year for the Pioneers. And he will face Dale Coy, Mackay Pelzer. It looks like there'll be a pinch hitter for Pelzer, Dale Coy. So 7, 8, and 9 are scheduled. We'll have new batters apparently. As the first pitch from the hard-throwing right-hander sails high. Caleb Pika, 1 inning of work, 1 hit, an infield hit, as the home plate umpire is just instructing Colin Athey about something, not exactly sure what it was, but Athey gave him a thumbs up about it. Pika 1 hit and 1 walk. Strike called at the knees. Thank you all for joining us today on YouTube and Twitter. Also broadcasting on the Vincennes University Twitter feed. If you want to join the show, send an email to treesports@gmail.com. Let me know who you are, where you're listening from, and who you're rooting for. You can be a Vincennes Trailblazer fan. That's fine with me. We're equal opportunity broadcasters. MGM Windows foul ball. Dale Coy 0 for 2, fly out and a pop out. Pika also had 2 strikeouts in his 1 inning of work, faced 5 batters. Ground ball up the middle. Molnar moves to his left, throws on the run, dug out nicely by our new first baseman, Brody Melton, as there is an entirely new 7 people on the field for the Pioneers. I'll tell you about them here just in a minute, but Logan Molnar, sorry, there's 6 new players, as Molnar and Caleb Hawkins are still out there. Nick Capostacci from Cincinnati, Ohio steps in. Common spelling of Capostacci, of course, with a K. Remember this name from a year ago. Nick Capostacci, 6', 225-pound sophomore from Turpin High School in Cincinnati, near Anderson High School. We had a player, I think it's Cole Brennan for Chat State this past Sunday and Monday. I think Turpin was one of the newer high schools back in the late 70s. That's 19. There's a 19 in front of that, Samuel.
Yes.
Okay. A time you know nothing about, really, but
I mean, I was born at the end of it. I was born in 1999.
what?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's ball in the outside corner. Capostacci now looking at a 2-ball, 2-strike count from Colin Athey. Kapostasy. He gets another ground ball to Molnar.
That looks like it's going.
And he will throw directly this time to Brody Melton at first base. Connor Moss over at third base, taking Carter Vrabel's spot. Molnar still at short. Corbin Overbay in for Ethan Huddleston at second base. And the aforementioned Brody Melton at first base. And that should be
Trevor Newman.
Oh, we got a new hitter.
Yeah.
Up to bat, number 48.
Trevor Newman in for Keegan Schlotterbeck.
Did not see the signal.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That pitch looked good, but apparently not good enough. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trevor Newman. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. That is still Drew Webster out there in left field. Maddox Liebrick in center. And Ethan here in right field. Swing and a miss, and Colin Athey sets down Vincennes University 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 7th inning, and that is the ball game. We are apparently using the 10-run rule after 7 innings. And you get to work early.
Nope, I get to go home.
Oh, you get to go home, huh?
Yeah, I brought all my stuff here in case.
Okay.
But I get to go home now.
Well, you can stick around here for the post-game show.
I might as well.
As the Pioneers take this one scheduled for 9, but a run rule. They will take the game 16-3 over Vincennes University. We will keep it right here. The winning pitcher will be Nathan Rhodes for Vol State. He will move to, see if we got that. We do. He will move. That would be his first decision of the year. He'll move to 1-0 on the season. The loss will be saddled to Logan Metzger. And I won't tell you what he is. I know their stats are just a little bit off on wins and losses on their pitchers, so I'll let somebody else determine what his record is. But the Pioneers put 16 runs on the board, 13 hits, 2 errors. Vincennes, 3 innings, 3 runs, 3 hits, 3 errors, so 3s across the board for Vincennes. The Pioneers will move to 11-8 on the season. Vincennes falls to 5-11. And for game 1 of your baseball broadcasting career, who would you say is the right rug flooring player of the game?
Like I said earlier, it's Carter Vrabel. It's Carter Vrabel. Look, I'm a guy that if you send a deep shot and it sends not just any deep shot, but a grand slam deep shot to basically increase the lead, you got to be the MVP.
Well, that is absolutely correct, and I wholeheartedly agree with that. Jamie, don't call me Jamie DeLynn. Thank you. I keep seeing that email, DeLynn, and it keeps saying Jamie. DeLynn Charla checking in, the mother of Jay Charla, Dave Eatman down in Parrish, Florida. They said they don't miss a game. And, of course, the McDaniels watching from the Grove City. And, yes, there is a run rule, Connie, and we found it here in the top of the 7th inning. And Jeff Ray answered my question. Don Mashburn was with AJ a little bit earlier, and you are correct. I know that AJ Fawson, I love having him here. He's a huge help to me and a very patient teacher. Then Vol State needs to let him teach classes. I'd definitely take a class from AJ Fawson, the head AV guy, at least for me here at Vol State.
I would just say he helps out with the sports broadcasting class I'm a part of on Mondays.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got me where I can actually run cameras pretty well.
Well, good. So the Pioneers put the sticks together here today. Home runs by Carter Vrabel and his roommate Jace Mizell. A 4-for-4 day for Carter Vrabel. Single in the first, a grand slam home run in the second, a double in the fourth, and a single. Scored 3 runs, 4 hits, but could not get that elusive triple. But he does have a triple on the year. He just didn't get it today. But he is our right rug flooring player of the game. Alex Qualls, you were awesome in the 3-man role there that you had. So I will see you later on. We will be back in action against Roane State Community College. Not sure yet what days we'll be playing. It might be Friday and Saturday. I know there's weather coming in tomorrow, and I believe there is bad weather coming in on Sunday, so I'm not sure when those games will be played. But the Pioneers will, especially after a game like this, as you see them out there running around.
Just celebrating the win.
Yeah.
Somebody stole a base.
It's fun to
Quite
see
literally.
our guys here having fun playing baseball. So got a lot of guys in as
I mean, that's the whole point of the game, is to have fun here. It's just it's a great game.
It is a great game, but many of these guys are a lot of sophomores and redshirt sophomores. They're not looking just to have fun. They're looking to move on to four-year universities. So this will help with statistics. I did see somebody was wearing a Carson Newman pullover today. I don't know their individual coaches. I know quite a few players for Carson Newman because they have played with the full count rhythm over the last couple of years. As a matter of fact, little trivia, a guy named Harrison Travis, who want to pray for Harrison. He just had shoulder surgery, I think, yesterday. But he hit the walk-off home run to win the championship for the Rhythm this past July over those Du Bois County Bombers. But he had been relegated to being a pitcher for about 5 appearances this year with Carson Newman. Anyway, that has nothing to do with Vol State, but it does have something to do with me. But our Full Count Ministries verse of the game, for those of you that stuck around, is found in the New Testament today. It is Romans 1:16, and that says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile." That is Romans 1:16. And we thank Full Count Ministries for their support of Vol State baseball and their support of this guy right here, Tim Reese, on the broadcast and through broadcast equipment. Much of the equipment that we have here is property of Full Count Ministries. So tell you what, Sammy, you got anything, some parting words for us?
Nothing else really than, honestly, from what I've seen, in talking with people about this baseball program, good players here. And if you're not, if you're one of these, Power 5 conference teams, you need to probably also take a look at Vol State too. You can't leave out the JUCOs. Can't leave out the JUCOs. I mean, good gravy. A few years ago, you had Southern Mississippi win the College World Series. It don't matter what level you're at. If you can hit and you can pitch, you have room somewhere.
Well, it's great baseball. I've sure enjoyed getting to know these guys. Head coach Jim McGuire. Braden Kale, I hadn't mentioned on the broadcast today, is the pitching coach, first-year pitching coach for the Pioneers. Sitting in this seat one window to the left, I don't get as good a look at Braden, who stands right down at the corner and calls pitches. So he was out of sight and out of mind for me today. But he's the son of Randy Kale, who's a frequent listener to this broadcast. But we had lots of hits today and lots of runs. 5 in the first, 5 in the second, 3 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth to put 16 on the board. 13 hits. The Pioneers got healthy in the batting average column today in a game that took 2 hours and 22 minutes to complete. Game time temperature was 54 degrees. And we thank Stanley back at the studio for sticking with us here on the radio side, 88.5 WVCP. So this is Tim Reese for Samuel Park, along with Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and Head Coach Jim McGuire, as the Pioneers win 16-3 over Vincennes Trailblazers. Move to 11-8. Stay in tune with social media, the Twitter, Ball State Twitter feed, and we'll update you on when the Roan State series will be played. So this is Tim Reese saying good night and God bless. We will talk to you soon. Good night, everybody.